Hi everybody, how are you? It's Jill Lancet. Okay, we're going to make a gorgeous, gorgeous card. It's actually quite an easy card to make, but it looks quite special. Looks like you've put an awful lot of work into it, but you know, I like to keep things simple. Guys, the new mini catalogue is out. You can pop over to my online store, jilllancet.stampinup.net. You will find it. Scroll down the first page to the bottom and you'll find the annual catalogue and you'll find the mini catalogue. You can click on that, you can download that, you can move that to your desktop so you've always got it there. Save the life of a tree. Okay. I'm not really, I don't want to go through this whole catalogue, but I thought I might just pull out one suite that I have and just show you in the catalogue all the gorgeous, gorgeous things you can do with it. Now, this is on page 32 of the new catalogue. Let me move my coffee before things happen. Crikey. So on page 32, we've got some beautiful examples. Look, the catalogues give you gorgeous, gorgeous ideas. Now, it doesn't get any simpler than that. It's just designer series paper with a sentiment and a little bit of the glimmer paper. Absolutely gorgeous. The colours in this set are beautiful. If you buy the suite, you get the gorgeous papers, you get the glimmer paper, you get the stamp set, the die set, and the embossing folder, plus these gorgeous little, now what do they call them? Hues of blue flowers. And you also get that gorgeous, gorgeous ribbon that is Misty Moonlight with the silver edging on it. Now that's one number will get you the whole collection. I try to do that with at least one collection and then I pick and choose what I want. But yeah, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous suite. Cards, beautiful, beautiful cards. You can do little home decor things. You can, that embossing folder is absolutely gorgeous, but you can also do scrapbook layouts. So yep, have a look in the catalogue either online or no, look at it online. Save a tree, guys. Anyway, look, I'm going to get started. That's enough of that. I will maybe try and look at one item instead of doing the whole catalogue. Okay, now I have everything here and I hope I don't drop it all, lose it all, but you know, there's no guarantees. sorry about that. But that's the way things roll around here. Now, if you've seen any of my videos, you know that I'm bound to lose something or whatever. But look, I wanted to show you some of the things that I have here. I'm using this. I'm having a break from Christmas cards at the moment because I will be gearing up towards Christmas cards, but I'm using the gorgeous Charming Day bundle. I do need the dies plus the stamp set for this gorgeous card that we're about to make. I haven't got one for you. I'm also using these gorgeous foiled frames and labels ephemera pack. Now, these are just beautiful. You get the label or the tag or whatever, plus you get a frame. Now, I'm going to show you this one. This one has been punched out. So I've got the tag, but I've also got a frame. That frame that I can use to frame something. So you get two for the price of one. So that's gorgeous. But we're going to use this tag here tonight, so I'm just going to pop that out. It's very easy to pop them out, guys. Let me just pop these over here. I'm going to use this beautiful, beautiful shiny red ribbon that I just got the other day, but let me pop this out and then we'll get going. Okay. Oops. Right, now look, I've half popped out the frame, so I might as well pop it all out and show you. So you could make this a feature on a scrapbooking page or on a card. I'm not really into scrapbooking, but, you know, I can see some uses for that. So I'll pop all of those back in there. I only need that one. And there's gorgeous shapes in there. But, yeah, it's part of another suite of products. You can buy it separately. I will put all the details below. It is part of the Floral Impressions suite. So we need our stamp and die set, our bundle from the Charming Day. I've got all this stuff here and we're going to get going, guys. I've got a basic white card base. I'm just going to pop that over there. I've got some blends. Blends, I find, are the easiest colouring tools. You know, if you're not an artist, I'm not, but if you're not an artist but you want to achieve some gorgeous colouring, we're going to do that. It's very quick. It's very easy. You know, a lot of people are a bit scared to get going. Please don't feel like that. Email me, put it in the comments if you have a question about this, but we will get this going. And I need my tag, my card base. I've got a piece of the Willow White. Now this comes in 12 by 12. And I've been using this a little bit lately just for a change. Willow White. This piece happens to be 10 by 7.5 centimetres or 4 by 3 inches. Now this is what we're stamping on. We're going to be doing some die cutting. Regardless of what country you're in, that size will fit the die. Now we do need a piece of this beautiful, beautiful, it is the two-tone cardstock. Now this is from the Lovely Florals, hang on, I've got it written here, Lovely Florals two-tone card pack. They're 12 by 12 and you get 2 of each of 6 colours. So that's a great way to have these on hand. Instead of buying just one whole packet of one colour that you may not want that much of, you can buy these smaller, you know, these assortment packs where you get 2 of each colour. And by right, you're actually getting 4 colours because each piece has got 2 colours on it. So we need that. I've got my blends here and everything else here. I've got my coffee. We're going to be using the Exposed Brick 3D embossing folder. And I think we'll start by doing that. Okay, so we'll just pop that in here. This is matte 1. Now, matte 1, if you don't have these, you need to get hold of these, guys. They are really going to make your life easier. A4 and US letter size matte templates. Now, if I say matte 1 and you're in a metric country, it's 10 by 14.3 centimetres. But if you're in the US, you won't probably have a clue and it won't fit your card either. But matte 1 is 4 by 5¼ inches. That will fit your US letter size cards. This will fit our metric cards. So email me, tilly2145@gmail.com. These are free, no strings attached. If you'd like to get hold of this, I'll send you this PDF. You can laminate it so you've always got it handy. I actually cut them up. I've got both because I need to make sure that what I'm saying is going to fit the US market as well as our metric market. But they're free, no strings attached. If you would like to receive my newsletter, then at the same time, request the templates and the newsletter, I'll sort you out with that. But look, you know, again, no strings attached. Okay, so I am going to emboss this. So you need, whatever your machine is, you need your appropriate sandwich for a 3D, which is a little bit thicker than normal embossing folders. It should be somewhere on your machine what your sandwich is. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of line this up because there are some horizontal lines. I don't want this, you know, too far out of the realms of straightness, if you know what I mean. Okay, I'm going to emboss that, and I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, as my mum would say. Hold your horses, honey. Okay, for those that haven't been on my channel before, I've just had carpal tunnel. My hands are a bit weak. I have an electronic machine that I use quite a lot because, you know, I am making cards, you know, all day, every day kind of thing. So look at that. This two-tone cardstock has a white core, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. So let me just pop that away because we will need that again in a minute. Now, I have one of these nail buffers. You can see it's seen better days. But I'm actually going to just sand this. Now, I've got the dark colour has been embossed. If I flip it over to the lighter colour, you will see that it's been debossed. But there is still some embossing there. Now, if I show you the difference... you can see that it's going to take more off the bricks, but I want this side to be sanded. So I'm just, look, very, very lightly. I don't want the whole thing to be, you know, completely stripped. I just want some highlighted areas to have that gorgeous white core showing through. Oh, look at that. What did that take me? 2 seconds, 3 seconds? Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm going to do something else to this piece, which is Mossy Meadow. I'm going to take some early espresso, and I'm just going to do the edges of this. I want it to kind of look a bit, you know, grungy. I'll hold it up in a tick and show you. And then we're going to give it one more treatment, just for good measure. This is called distressing. So this technique is called distressing. We're giving it a worn or weathered look by sanding it. We're giving it a rough look by doing the edges with the early espresso. I'm giving it a grungy, dirty sort of a look. Now I've done that. The other thing I want to do is I've got these really, they're more like garden shears. Hang on, I'm dropping everything. Yeah, I'm going to give this a bit of a distressed look. So because it's got the white core, it's going to come up. So I'm just going along like that, just scraping that. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I'm just scraping it. It's going to tear it in some places, which is okay. I haven't got an issue with that. It's just part of the whole overall look of this card that I'm going for. So there we go. Now it does take some of the paper off. Don't be too concerned about that. That's the finish I'm looking for, okay? Now we've got that. I can pop that over there. I'm actually going to take some of Mossy Meadow. I've got another blending brush here, and I'm going to extremely lightly, I'm going to do a little bit of inking, starting in the center and working my way out. I'm just going to give this a bit of an off-white vibe. Okay, cool. That's that. Now we'll get to stamping, and we will actually do some colouring. So I'm going to pop all of that up there. I need my piece of Willow white, which is 4 by 3 or 10 centimetres by 7.5. Now I've got a stamping platform set up, and I'm going to stamp this. Now pop that in the corner. I've got some magnets here. Now look, you want to make sure this is up in the corner, because if you have to stamp it again, you want to make sure it's going to be in the right spot. So I'm just using our Memento Tuxedo Black. I'm just going to ink this up, and anything I miss I can re-stamp it if I need to. Okay, I hope that's fine. Let's have a look. Pop that down on a flat surface and just give that a gentle press. I'm just giving the ink a little bit of time to, you know, soak into that. Now naturally I have preset this up so that it will go quite quickly. That looks pretty darn good to me. If I wanted to go again, make it darker or whatever, but I think that's fine. Now I can always pop this in. Sometimes when you're using blends, some of the lines will become blurred. You can always go in and pop it back in there after you've coloured it and ink that up again and stamp it again. We'll see how this turns out, okay? Just bear with me for a second. We'll just pop that over there and we'll start colouring. Now this is the relaxing part for me. I hope you enjoy colouring. I hope you enjoy actually doing it. I hope this will make it even more so when you realise that it doesn't take long. Okay, so I have got here some light Mossy Meadow, and I have some light Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to use these for the leaves. I like to use the brush tip. So with the darker of the two, which just happens to be light Mossy Meadow, I'm going where the leaves might have some shadow, and I'm just filling those little bits in, and I'm just following the line that the stamp has made. Okay, now you can do this quite quickly. I'm doing it quite slowly just to show you. So I'm doing the line, and then I'm doing some dark bits towards the bottom. Now this leaf looks like it's probably curving to me, so there might be a little bit of dark down here as well. But anyway, look, now I'm going to speed up to the normal speed that I would normally do this. Okay. And it's quite easy. This one feels like it might be, maybe it's time to get another. But it'll do for this card and probably a few more. And that's it. They're the leaves done. Now with the light Granny Apple Green, I'm just going to go over the whole thing. And the two colours will actually merge. Did you see that? I'm going to hold this up in a sec. Oh, did I say I was going to hold something up and I forgot? Sorry. I do that all the time. Okay. So in some instances, it's really just drawing lines. And I will hold this up in a sec. Move the piece around. Don't try and move your hand. It just becomes uncomfortable, guys. Okay. Now I can see that hasn't really stamped very clearly, so we might stamp this again after I've coloured it. Just to bring that, you know, the boldness, the contrast of the black out. And you know what, sometimes you can leave a little bit of white space. That sort of indicates that some light is hitting that leaf. So we might do that on this one as well. And nearly finished the leaves. Oh gosh, you know what I should have done? I should have timed myself. Oh, one more. Now I want to show you that they kind of just blend. And you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. This could be graphic, what they call graphic, where you can see, you know, bits and pieces where they haven't. Now I'm taking the dark real red and I'm going to go just closest to the inside of the petals, where the petals disappear into the center of the flower. I always do it this way. A lot of people do it the other way. You do it however you'd like to do it. But that's it. Just colouring in some areas and not others with this dark real red. Now you could go a colour darker and use the cherry cobbler if you wanted a lot of contrast, but look, for the sake of expediency, oh, that's a big word, this is real red, light real red. Okay, so I'm just going over that, and I will hold this up again, just show you how you get that sense of shading without a lot of effort. So I colour in the whole petal. I go over where I've put the dark real red, and that's when they blend. Just bear with me, guys. It literally only takes a couple of minutes, and I just find it quite relaxing. There we go. There's the big flower done. Now the little flower. Obviously I can't talk and colour at the same time. There we go. Look, I will hold that up. I hope you can see that. I hope I've got that in the right spot. Now I'm going to cut that out with the die. And this card is like so close to being finished, it's not funny. Okay, let's have a look. that is scrap. These fit on, the dies fit on really, really well. They do a lovely job of getting up close to the edge. So now I'm not exactly over the top of this, but I'm going to do my best from the angle that I am at, okay? I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to pop a piece of tape there, a piece of tape there, and I'm going to cut that out. Again, guys, just talk amongst yourselves for a sec. How beautiful is that? How lovely. How lovely, lovely, lovely is that? Gosh. Now we can put this together. I'm going to stamp straight onto this tag. I have the stamp already set up, and it's on the same stamping platform. Just bear with me. I lined this up. I've got some magnets here to help me place this. And I'm going to stamp this up in the Memento Tuxedo Black as well. I don't know if you can see that because my coffee's in the way. How does this desk get so messy so quick? I don't know. I literally do not know. Crikey. All right, let's give that a second. I don't want to knock my coffee over. That would be disastrous. Now, if you're not happy with that, we've got this thing in a stamping platform. So you can go again. And you can keep going till the cows come home. So there we go. Beautiful. Okay, now let me just give that a wipe and pop that out of the way. Okay, now I can pop this together. So I've got my elements here, and I've put a dirty mark on there. Hang on. I don't know if you've seen one of these. It's called a mono sand eraser, and they're quite good for getting ink off. And it's just these little bits here. Now, I don't know whether it's going to help or not, but if you make a bit of a boo-boo, you can kind of try and get that off. We are putting a bow on this, so I'm probably not going to be that concerned. Okay, so we've got our very distressed piece here. I'm going to glue this straight onto my white card base, and you will see that that is quite distressed, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm a liquid glue girl, so I'm going to put some glue on this. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. I think I'm out of glue, guys. Hang on. I think I've got another one here. Oh, crikey. I think that's been sitting there too long. Hang on. Hold your horses, honey. Ugh, that's awful. Okay, not happy with that one. That might be a really old one. Ah, dear. Okay, let's have a look. I think I'm going to run out of glue. Oh, dear. Oh, well, you know what they say. If it's a Jill Lancet production, something is going to go wrong. Oh my word. All right, I'm going to just pop something on that for 2 seconds, and then I'm going to get another glue. Hold on. Oh. There they are. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go and get it out of my supply cupboard. There we go. I have a brand new bottle of glue. So when you get your glue, you pull this plastic seal off. That's how you know it's a fresh bottle. Let's see. Good. Okay, sorry about that. Now, I wanted to also show you that I've upgraded my glue stand. I got this on, you know, that website that we don't usually like to talk about. And all I've done is slap a big blob of blue tack in there. I don't know if you can see that. This is my old one. It was a tea towel or a dishcloth holder. And then one of the ladies in one of my classes bought one of these, and I looked at it really closely, and it has a couple of steps down in there to accommodate different glue bottles. But I've just done what I've done here. I've put a blob of blue tack in there, and this is what I do. That will hold my glue so that the glue is always to the tip. This has got a nice wide base on it, so it's not going to knock over very easily. But anyway, yeah, have a look for that. Now, we've glued that on there. I've got my tag here. So we're going to deal with this now. Just for a second, I'm going to pop these beautiful flowers up on some dimensionals. Hang on. Let's put some on the back. This literally is rather a quick card. If you wanted to make multiples of these, you could stamp them. Oh, I was going to re-stamp that. I forgot. Doy. You know, what can I say? It's the Jill Lancer Comedy Hour. There, look, that's plenty of dimensionals. Where's my take your pick? Okay, let's have a look. Let's get these little suckers off. I keep these empty tissue containers, and they make fantastic little garbage for little tiny bits. It holds an awful lot, but the footprint on your table is quite small. So yeah, you know, I love recycling. I'm the recycle queen. Anyway, look, there we go. There's a big blob there. Doesn't matter. Look at that. I'm going to pop that on there like that. I think that looks fantastic. This is going to go on there. We are going to put some dimensionals behind the bottom of this tag so that it's lifted up. So you could put 1 or 2 high. Depends how much dimension you want on that. I think that'll be perfect. I'm also going to glue this, but I need to make a bow. Now, this gorgeous ribbon will make a gorgeous bow. Of course it will. So I do rabbit ears. I don't know how you guys do your bows, but I do rabbit ears just like this. Okay. Now, the thing with this ribbon is that it's kind of one-sided. You can see one side is quite shiny, the other side isn't. But that's okay, because you can twist this little tail around so that they're both facing the front before you tighten it, and they will both be facing the front. So there we go. See what I mean? Rather than having it not so shiny on that side, we've kind of got it shiny. Right, hang on. I digress. Now, I don't want the tails to be too big, so I'm just going to cut them off around about there. That's all I'm wasting, guys. When you tie your bow while it's still on the spool, you tend not to waste a lot of ribbon. So there we go. I'm going to pop that on there, and I can actually arrange those and hold those tails in place with some glue dots, but we've got to get this on here. So I want some glue, and I do want a lot because it's all embossed under there. Now I'm going to take these off. Where's my take your pick? Crikey. Oops. Right. Now I kind of want it just a little bit above center and at an angle. Look at that. What do you think? What do you think about that? That's going to go there. I can get some glue dots for my beautiful, beautiful, shiny, satin-looking bow. Hang on. Are these the crazy ones? These are the crazy ones. Hang on. They go the opposite direction. I think I'll throw them out. Instead of being stuck on here, they're stuck on there. Crikey. I don't know what's going on there. Mr. Glue Dot. Right, that's going up here like that. And I can actually glue dot these tails so that they're out of the way of my greeting. So normally what I do is I just snip them off very close to the glue dot. There's the glue dot right there. And I'm holding the tail where I want the tail to be, and I'm going to pop a glue dot. I'm going to turn it upside down first of all. I'm going to pop the glue dot down, peel the release paper off, just like that. And then I can arrange the tail where I want it. I'm going to do the same with that one. I'm just going to cut that very close to the glue dot. The glue dot's there. And I can move the tail where I want it, pop the glue dot down, and have that tail secured. Just like that. What do you reckon? I wanted this girly, girly, beautiful red. I love red roses. I wanted that sort of like in contrast to this grungy brick wall, sort of dark colour. That is my focal point. That right there. This is interesting, but that is so, what's the word, opposite the background, that it becomes very, very obvious in the focal point. Guys, let me think. Let me tell, oh, crikey, let me start again. Let me know what you think about that. Oh, loud car. Blends are really, really easy to use. I'm going to give you a really big close-up of that. When you look at that card, you are not saying, gosh, let me have a close look at that colouring. You're saying, look at that gorgeously coloured rose. There is variation in the colours, but you know what? easy to achieve. Thank you so much. Thank you for spending some time with me again. I'm really, really grateful that you're here. If you would like to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and share this. If you know somebody that struggles with colouring, here's a perfect example of not to struggle. Just have a couple of goes at it on some, scraps, and you'll master this, really you will, in no time at all. That red just pops against that green, and I think it's a beautiful card. It's not, it's not pinky pink and girly girl. It's just a really nice card, I think. Anyway, thank you so much. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye for now. Hooray.